Well, we are at the end of the line. This is week 5, and we are working on the personal experience brief opinion speech and the journal to cover the persuasive speeches. You will see that next week's week 6 folder has been open since June 27th. Today is June 30th, last day of the month. It's very exciting. I'm going to turn this around, and it really is exciting to have done all this work and realize that you are coming to the final assignment. And that final exam is what I want to talk about today. You can see that right here at the very end, it has the last folder. And let's see what that means. Right here, final exam. And this is what you'll find. You will find the peer review critique journal for personal experience brief opinions, so please don't forget to do that. There are 4 journals, one for in the news, one for informative, one for persuasion, and one for personal experience brief opinions, so do not forget that. And then the final exam. If you were looking in week 1, I had already posted this with the instructions right here on what to do for the final exam. And I will go over it very briefly. I think you probably can understand what I'm looking for, but I will explain it. What the final exam really is a review of what you've been working on since the beginning of the semester, by the end of May. The first part, there are 3 parts. The first part is identifying a discussion board that you were attracted to for some reason. Maybe it's a takeaway, something that you think, I'll remember that. I noticed during the discussion board posts, some of you had lots to say, some of you very little to say. So for those who had lots to say, I think you'll find this part of the final exam easy. For those who did not, you may have received full credit for your discussion board, but you have to up your game for this part here. So find a discussion board that you liked, that you connected to in some way, and then review it one more time. Now, there's not going to be a back and forth. It's just you speaking about it, what you liked, what you will remember, something you could add to it. And you'll see in the directions, I'm going back to this part here. Let's see, come on. It says here, please review 1 or 2, and it can be 2 if you'd like, 1 or 2 of our discussion board videos. Describe the who, what, and why of the message. Who is the speaker? What is the message? Why did you connect to this video? Your response should reflect an understanding of the communication model. Like, why did I even include this, right? So you're finding one that you had something to say. Maybe it was the power of words. Maybe it was about how to avoid death by PowerPoint. Maybe it was Clint Smith speaking about this, not to be silent. Or maybe it was right in the beginning with Lovey Ajue saying being comfortable, being uncomfortable, whatever it was. Now, because you have already pre-written about this in your discussion board, do not hesitate from copying and pasting some of the words you've already delivered. But the length of this particular post for the first part of the final exam has to be at least 3 paragraphs long if you were writing it. 3 paragraphs. So 1 page, not just a little paragraph, but 3 of them. So you have to go into some analysis. You have to think about it. You can do it in the written form, or you can do it orally. If you're doing the oral part of the final exam, then it'll be about a minute long that you'll be speaking about it. The next part of the final exam is to go into the journal and to do the exact same thing. Look at all the journals you've posted. There should be 4, and within those there were 3 students each, so 12 journals altogether, out of combined in 4. So find a student, 1 or 2, that you were particularly following, and you said something that really connected to you during your journal posting, and you're going to write about that person again. Exactly like you did for the journal post, but instead of maybe 1 paragraph, again, if it's written, 3 paragraph. If it's oral, at least 1 minute. Speaking about the student as far as what you have observed, the qualities that go into being effective speakers, good things that you've seen, how the student has improved over time, how some students got stuck in a certain behavior pattern in the news and really did not change. Some did not change. They started as an impromptu speaker and they finished as one. Others followed what I was hoping you would adopt as a best practice and put effort into it, finding topics that you were connected to, writing out an outline, and working as closely as you could be as delivering a good, strong intro, body, and conclusion so it would be easy for your audience to stay with you and understand. All right, so you're going to pick 1 or 2 discussion boards, 1 or 2 students to do a critique, and then the last part of the final exam, there are 3 parts, is self-reflection. I did so much of this when I was in graduate school that I was like, I don't know what to say. Well, talk about how you see yourself as a public speaker. Maybe before you've taken this class, maybe during this class, and maybe afterwards. Maybe there's been no change, but it's going to be a discussion about yourself and what you may take away from this course. What I'm hoping you take away is a belief system that you can do this, that you are a public speaker, and you are going to take public speaking on as an opportunity to share your ideas of words orally, and do not shy away from any opportunity that comes from now until perpetuity for you to practice your skills. If you're in another class, and if you're face-to-face or on Zoom, and you have a chance to participate in a class discussion, please do it. All practice is important. Interpersonally, with your family and friends, to speak up more, to share your ideas and thoughts orally instead of being silent or just writing words down in a text. Use those skills, like the oral communication muscle. So this is not an end. This is the end of this semester, and I say end of the line, but it's really a beginning. It's the beginning of you identifying yourself as a public speaker with unlimited possibilities. So you're on your way. So the final exam has 3 parts. If you're choosing the oral option, you're going to do it just like a voice thread. It should be at least 3 minutes long. I say 3 to 5 minutes. So 1 minute at least for the discussion board, 1 minute at least for the journal entry review, and 1 minute for your own self-reflection. If you're writing it out, those minutes should equal pages, right? So instead of 1 paragraph per each journal, you'll have 3. Instead of 1 paragraph for the discussion board, you'll have 3, and at least 3 paragraphs discussing yourself, your own self-reflection, how you see in the future, what you hope to do with this information, how it supports you. At least you have a sense of it. Now, you get out of any class what you put into it, and I know some of you have really taken time to watch each other's presentation, and you learn so much from watching. Where you might not shine and you see someone else shining, that's inspirational and it's contagious. The higher the bar is set by the peer group, the higher you have achieved. I see it all the time. And I've seen students in this class from the self-introduction to now just like take it on. And I'm very, very proud of you, because in such a short time, you were vulnerable and you allowed change to happen. You didn't resist. You went along with it. So that's important to remember. There's 3. Now, okay, over here, I'm going to move over to this one here. And here, if you're going to do the if you're going to do it in the written option, then you're going to click on that assignment, and you can either attach a file right here, maybe do a Word document and attach it there, or write out your answers right here, and then make sure you submit. If you're going to do the voice thread, that is what we've been doing all along, so that would be up here. So you have option 1 or choice 1 to do it on voice thread, just like we've been doing it all along. Same method. You're going to drop it in there, and then you're going to save and submit, and make sure you do. You will not be able to see each other's. You will not. This was not intended to be shared. This is going to be a private voice thread, so do not fear that your answers are going to be seen by anyone else but yourself and me. And this is it. This is the whole semester. Oh man, I am so happy that you're finishing, but don't forget the final exam. Do not forget the personal experience and the brief opinion, and don't forget the final exam. And the reason why I write down July 9th, hard stop, is because it has to be. For the registrar's office, it has to be. That's why I opened it up sooner than I might have normally. Normally, I might have given you 5 days to do the final exam, but I opened it up sooner because I can open it up in the beginning, but not at the end. It's a hard stop for me as well as for you. So after the July 9th, it's over. On July 10th, my grades go in. And on July 11th, we start the second half of the summer session. So everything has to go in. It's a cooperative exchange of information. I'm sure you'll be happy to have it done as well. And remember that getting it done is sometimes more important than perfection. So just don't obsess too much. The final exam is already in you. I'm sure you've already been thinking about yourself as a public speaker as you're going through these experiences. I'm sure that you've already thinking about the journals you've written about your peers, because some of you have written so many really great insights. So write that about that person or two. Doesn't have to be one, it can be two. And the same thing with the discussion board. So it's already in you. This is just a review for the final. But don't forget your personal experience brief opinion presentation, and please don't forget the journal for personal experience brief opinion that you'll see submitted at the very last, at the real end of the line. I don't know why I'm not speaking well today. See, I need a public speaking class, right? And I do keep notes, but even with notes, it's not about perfection, it's with effort. But for some of you who did not use notes, some of you that were working a little bit too impromptu, you're going to get away with it from my class, right? You'll pass. But for the future, always prepare in advance. Don't leave things to chance. Don't give yourself that deer in the headlight look or like you're just thinking about it in the moment. Have it planned out. Impromptu can come to any presentation as another idea to support what you're saying, but not relying on it is a really good idea. It's not a conversation, it's expository. It is prepared from a planned outline and notes. All right, I hope everything is good in your life. Today is June 30th, last day of the month. Tomorrow is July 1st. I think Monday is 4th of July, so happy 4th of July. But our class officially closes on July 9th, so thank you so much. And take care of yourself and others.